Lust is often seen as just a harmless temptation, but what if I told you it's much darker than that? In reality, lust is a powerful weapon used by Satan to weaken our spirit and lead us away from God. Today, we're uncovering 7 reasons why lust is satanic and, more importantly, 7 ways to overcome it. Stay with me, because this knowledge could be the key to breaking free from its grip. Falling prey to lust doesn't just affect your thoughts. It impacts your soul, relationships, and your walk with God. Ignoring its dangers can lead to a cycle of shame, guilt, and spiritual decline. The stakes couldn't be higher. Your spiritual well-being, emotional health, and even your destiny could be at risk if you don't address this issue head-on. Have you ever struggled with desires that you knew weren't right, but couldn't seem to control? What if there were clear steps you could take to not only resist, but overcome the power of lust in your life? Let's dive into the 7 reasons why lust is satanic, and learn 7 practical ways to break free from its influence. And before we dive in, comment, "I conquer my lust," to show you are dedicated to winning this battle. And don't forget, after the 7 reasons, we will cover 7 ways to overcome lust too. So, stick around. 7 reasons why lust is considered demonic. 1. Distorts true love and connection. Lust is focused solely on physical attraction and gratification, often sidelining the deeper emotional and spiritual bonds that form the foundation of a genuine relationship. When lust takes precedence, it reduces people to objects for pleasure rather than valuing them for their inner qualities, creating a barrier to experiencing true intimacy and unconditional love. This distortion replaces the selfless nature of love with selfish desire, shifting the focus from giving and sharing to taking and consuming. In spiritual terms, this disconnect from authentic love is seen as a move away from the divine, making lust a path that aligns with darker, selfish forces. 2. Leads to sinful behavior. The pursuit of lust often drives individuals to engage in actions they might otherwise avoid, such as adultery, promiscuity, or other morally questionable behaviors. The overwhelming desire for gratification can cloud judgment, leading to decisions that cause harm to oneself and others. Spiritually, this is seen as giving in to the lower, baser instincts rather than upholding higher moral standards. It aligns with forces that encourage transgression and destruction, making lust not just a personal weakness, but a gateway to other forms of sinful behavior that stray far from the path of righteousness. 3. Promotes self-indulgence over self-control. Lust represents a surrender to base desires, placing physical cravings above reason and moral restraint. When one constantly seeks to satisfy their lust, it becomes difficult to practice self-control, a virtue central to many spiritual teachings. This lack of discipline weakens the will, making a person more susceptible to other temptations and reducing their capacity to resist evil influences. The constant indulgence in lustful thoughts or actions creates a cycle where desires are never truly satisfied, but instead grow stronger, leading to a life dominated by fleeting pleasures rather than meaningful fulfillment. If you relate to these, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. 4. Objectifies others. In the realm of lust, people are viewed primarily for their physical attributes, reducing them to mere objects for pleasure. This objectification strips away their dignity and humanity, treating them not as unique individuals with thoughts, emotions, and value, but as tools to satisfy personal cravings. Such a perspective contradicts the principle of love, which involves recognizing and respecting the inherent worth of others. From a spiritual viewpoint, this treatment of people as objects rather than souls diminishes the divine spark within them, moving away from light and toward a darker view of human interaction. 5. Creates a cycle of addiction. Lust, like any form of addiction, can trap individuals in a never-ending cycle of craving and consumption. The pursuit of lustful pleasure often fails to provide lasting satisfaction, leading to repeated attempts to seek that elusive gratification. As the behavior becomes habitual, the individual's ability to exercise restraint weakens, and their life becomes increasingly centered around satisfying their lustful urges. This pattern can destroy relationships, hinder personal growth, and lead to feelings of emptiness. Spiritually, this addiction serves as a distraction from the pursuit of higher truths, keeping a person bound to earthly desires. 6. Blocks spiritual growth. Focusing excessively on lustful desires can lead to spiritual stagnation, as one's attention is diverted away from pursuing meaningful spiritual practices. Lust occupies the mind with thoughts of physical pleasure, leaving little room for contemplation, meditation, or other practices that foster spiritual growth. This distraction can keep individuals from experiencing a deeper connection with the divine or exploring the true purpose of their lives. It prevents the development of virtues like compassion, humility, and selflessness, which are crucial for spiritual advancement, thereby aligning more with darkness than with the light. 7. Opens the door to other vices. Lust often acts as a gateway that paves the way for other sinful behaviors, such as lying, deceit, and even violence. The drive to satisfy lust can push individuals to compromise their values, manipulate others, or engage in immoral actions to fulfill their desires. This weakening of moral integrity makes it easier to fall prey to other vices, leading a person further away from the path of righteousness. When unchecked, lust's influence can snowball into a lifestyle dominated by sinful habits, aligning with forces that seek to corrupt and destroy the soul. Now that we've gone over 7 reasons why lust is demonic, here are 7 ways to overcome lust. 1. Practice self-discipline. Building self-control involves setting clear boundaries and consciously avoiding situations where temptation is strong. Self-discipline is not about repression, but about channeling desires into healthy expressions. Practicing small acts of restraint, like fasting or limiting certain pleasures, strengthens willpower over time. Self-discipline can be cultivated through meditation, mindful practices, or daily routines that promote structure and focus. Overcoming lust through self-discipline leads to inner peace and freedom from being controlled by base impulses, allowing for a more balanced and fulfilling life. 2. Focus on spiritual growth. Spiritual practices such as prayer, meditation, or scripture study help shift the mind from physical cravings to higher pursuits. By investing time in spiritual activities, one nurtures the soul and strengthens resistance to lustful thoughts. Spiritual growth fosters a sense of purpose and connection to something greater than oneself, making it easier to overcome the temptations of the flesh. These practices also instill virtues like patience and selflessness, which counteract the selfish nature of lust, leading to a deeper sense of fulfillment and inner peace. 3. Cultivate healthy relationships. Building meaningful connections that go beyond physical attraction helps in overcoming lust. Focus on relationships rooted in respect, trust, and shared values. Emotional intimacy fosters a deeper understanding and appreciation for others as individuals, rather than mere objects of desire. Nurturing these bonds leads to authentic love and companionship, which naturally diminishes the hold of lust. Engaging in community activities or spiritual groups can also provide support and accountability, helping to maintain a path free from destructive desires. 4. Avoid triggers. Identifying triggers that lead to lustful thoughts or behaviors is a key step in overcoming lust. This may involve avoiding certain types of media, places, or even people that provoke these urges. Instead, replace these with uplifting content, hobbies, or activities that engage the mind positively. Proactive avoidance helps in breaking the cycle of lustful thought patterns, making it easier to cultivate a more disciplined mindset. Over time, this approach reduces the power of triggers and strengthens resistance to temptation. 5. Seek accountability. Talking to a trusted friend, mentor, or spiritual advisor can help in overcoming lust. Being open about struggles provides a support system and accountability, which can make it easier to resist temptation. Knowing that someone is checking in on your progress helps keep you focused on your goals. Accountability partners can also offer practical advice and encouragement. Making the journey to overcome lust less isolating. Engaging in regular conversations about progress fosters growth and ensures continued vigilance against falling back into old habits. 6. Engage in fasting or abstinence. Periods of fasting or abstinence help break the hold of lust by teaching the body to function without constantly indulging desires. This practice strengthens self-control and reinforces the discipline needed to resist temptation. Fasting can be physical, such as abstaining from certain foods or activities, or spiritual, such as limiting distractions to focus on prayer. These practices help cleanse the mind and body of dependence on physical pleasures, creating space for spiritual renewal and inner clarity. 7. Channel energy into creative or productive outlets. Redirecting the energy used to pursue lustful desires toward constructive activities provides a healthy alternative. Engaging in hobbies, exercise, or creative pursuits can be fulfilling and offers a sense of achievement. These activities keep the mind occupied and away from destructive thoughts, making it easier to maintain a disciplined lifestyle. Finding joy in productive outlets not only diminishes the power of lust, but also contributes to personal growth and a more balanced life. These insights provide practical ways to understand the nature of lust and strategies to overcome it, encouraging a life aligned with spiritual and moral values. Comment what you learned from this video and what you are implementing. And click the video in screen now to learn how to spot a demon in your life.